Hello, I'm Anna Carolina Martins, and that's the presentation of the final project from the Foundation of Business Analytics course. My presentation will be about the place that I currently work on. It is a pizzeria called Postal Pizza, located in Orlando, Florida. I work as a customer service analyst. My duties include collect and analyze customer feedback through surveys, reviews, and direct interactions to assess customer satisfaction, monitor service performance metrics such as wait times, order accuracy, and customer complaints, collaborate with management to develop and implement strategies to enhance the customer experience and improve satisfaction levels, conduct root cause analysis on customer complaints and service issues to identify underlying patterns and recommend process improvements, and review customer service data to assess the effectiveness of promotions, menu items, and service changes. The primary research question I'll be focusing on is there a difference in average spending between weekday and weekend customers? I believe this is a very useful question for a pizzeria business, as it could help the business identify if there are certain days when customers tend to spend more, and thus help with planning marketing strategies or special offers. The data set I've decided to analyze are the following: Customer ID, a unique customer identifier; Order date, that is the date and time of the order; Total spend in dollars is the total amount the customer spent for that exact order; Order type is whether it is a dine-in or take-out order; Pizza size is the size of the pizza ordered, for example, small, medium, or large; Toppings is the number of extra toppings ordered; Customer gender is the gender of the customer; Days of the week is the day the order was placed, weekday or weekend; weekdays being from Monday to Thursday, and weekends being from Friday to Sunday. Here we can see the table with all the variables and observations collected. We will analyze this given data. The tool used was the Excel. Based on our analysis results, the weekday mean was 23.54 and the weekend mean 23.21. Which means that on average, customers spend a slightly higher amount on weekdays compared to weekends. The difference in means is very small, $23.54 for weekdays versus $23.21 for weekends. This suggests that, on the surface, there doesn't appear to be a large discrepancy in spending between weekdays and weekends. Meanwhile, the weekday standard deviation was 4.43 and the weekend standard deviation was 3.80. The standard deviation tells us about the spread of variability of the data. A higher standard deviation means the data points individual customer spending are more spread out from the mean, while a lower standard deviation means the data points are more clustered around the mean. Since the weekday standard deviation 4.43 is higher than the weekend standard deviation 3.80, it suggests that there is more variability in the amount spent on weekdays. Customers on weekdays may have more diverse spending habits. For example, some might spend a lot of money, while others spend very little. The weekend spending is more consistent, with a smaller spread of data points around the average. With this chart, we can observe that although the value spent during the weekdays is higher, there isn't a large discrepancy in spending between weekdays and weekends. I believe that happens in this specific place because the number of sales is always very consistent, since we are located right next to the Disney parks. So we have many people passing through us daily, and this number tends to always remain the same. I've also performed a t-test. The one-tailed tests are typically used when we are interested in testing if one group is either greater than or less than another group. In this case, if I'm specifically testing if spending time on weekdays is greater than on weekends or vice versa, I would use a one-tailed test. A p-value of 0.2649 is greater than 0.05. This means we fail to reject the null hypothesis for a one-tailed test, indicating that the difference in average spending between weekdays and weekends is not statistically significant in the direction I was testing. The result suggests that the difference in average spend could be due to chance and is not strong enough to conclude a clear trend in one direction. Meanwhile, a two-tailed test is appropriate when we are testing if the means are different in either direction. For example, it tests whether the mean spent on weekdays is different from the mean spent on weekends, regardless of which is higher. A p-value of 0.5298 is greater than 0.05. This means we fail to reject the null hypothesis for a two-tailed test, indicating that the difference in average spending between weekdays and weekends is not statistically significant when considering both directions. The high p-value suggests that the difference in average spending could easily be attributed to random variation in the data, and there is no strong evidence to suggest that the average spending between weekdays and weekends is different. In conclusion, the analysis suggests that there is no strong evidence to conclude that customers spend significantly more on weekdays compared to weekends, or vice versa. The observed difference in spending could likely be attributed to random variation rather than a clear trend in customer behavior. Despite the slightly higher average spend on weekdays, their overall lack of statistical significance indicates that other factors may be influencing customers' spending, such as pizza type, order size, or promotional offers. Based on these findings, it would be premature for the pizzeria to implement specific marketing strategies or pricing models aimed at boosting sales on either weekdays or weekends, solely based on spending differences. Future research could explore other factors that might affect spending, such as the type of pizza order size, or customers' demographics, for example, age, which might provide more actionable insights. Increasing the sample size might provide more robust results, especially if there are smaller differences in spending that were not detected in this analysis. Thank you for your attention.